Hello my friends, it's Sheree from Turquoise Dreaming. How's everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel and happy Friday. I'm here for hashtag stash to treasure, and this is a new version of this collab as it is continuing on in a different way with the co-host as myself and Maria from Maria's Miscellany. So yes, we wanted to continue on, and what we're going to do is do it on the first Friday of each month, so just once a month. But the thing is, we want to make it so that you can post a video. You can post it on the first Friday of the month if you want, or you can post it anytime during the month, as many times as you want. So, you know, it's Stash to Treasure, so just say, you have something that you want to use from your stash and it's not, you know, named in any of the prompts. What the idea is for you to go ahead and use it and post your video and use our hashtag. So yeah, I mean, I want to do that myself, and I know Maria does too, you know. So the prompts, if you need a prompt, the prompts are there. We're going to have a prompt, one prompt or whatever, a list of prompts for each month. But that's just kind of a guideline to give you an idea. If you don't have an idea, like what am I going to do, and you're kind of like overwhelmed and lost, you know, go to our prompts and that'll give you some ideas. But maybe you have 1,000 ideas of things you already want to use. So just, you know, go for it is the idea of this collab. So I am kind of sticking with the first prompt, which is today. We're going to do some crafting today. So this is not just an announcement. And Maria's too, so make sure you check out her channel. I'll have all the information below, including the link to Maria's channel. And so if you want to participate, use the hashtag in your title so that we can see it when it pops up. Make sure you're subscribed to our channels. And if we're not subscribed to your channel, we'll come over and subscribe so that we see your videos when they pop up with our hashtag. And is that it? I think that's it. All the instructions will be below if I forgot anything. But today the prompt is linens, fabric, you know, trims, all that kind of thing, the fabric kind of things. So I'm making a tassel, and I love making tassels because you can just throw a bunch of fabric together and trims and things, and it looks beautiful, I think. So I'm using some kind of leftover fabric today from different things, and even some strips from leftover from other tassels. And I kind of put together kind of a little bit of a color palette here. There's pinks and blues and whites and a little bit of maybe green in there. This is made up of fabric. I've got some seam binding, and I've got, let's see, is there anything, some vintage sheets. So, and I'm going to use some beads with it. So this is, I showed you in the last couple weeks a way to make a really simple tassel, and this is another way. So I wanted to try this one today and see how it comes out, because I haven't done this in a while, and I kind of, you know how you do things and then you don't do them for a long time and you forgot that you even ever did it, or forgot how you did it. So this is kind of that situation. But I'm going to take this burlap and tie this up like this. I just already had my strips laid out, just so you know. It's a lot of them are torn. This is I think this is a cut piece, like with scissors. The rest are torn, and then there's my seam binding, which is just, you know, already how it is. So I'm going to take this. This is thin jute twine. You know how some jute twine is thicker? This is a thin one. See, kind of like almost like a string. So I kind of put it in the middle there. I want to make sure it's kind of pretty much in the middle. It looks like it is. And then I got a pretty long piece here. And by the way, my strands for my fabrics and things here were about 13 inches long. I wanted a tassel that wouldn't be too long for a journal. Okay, sometimes I like long tassels, but sometimes I like the, mostly I like the little bit smaller ones that can be used on a journal. So I'm going to tie a little knot there. Okay, so my tassel is starting to take shape. Let's tie one more knot here. And I've got lots of fabric pulled out here for extra. I'd like to make 2 tassels if we have time. We'll see. The second one might have to be another video. So now we need our little, you can make a tassel like this without the little kind of knob on the top, but I do like that. It makes it, I think it looks a little bit more like a tassel. So let's pick out a pretty piece to hang on top. Here's a piece of vintage sheet. And like I said, I already had these torn previously for previous tassels. So you could use another piece of jute twine or ribbon or whatever you want for this stage or this part, this next part. But I'm using a piece of vintage sheet. I'm going to tie it around here, make our little topper. And I want to make sure the right side is out so you see the most colorful side there on the outside. So let's do that. So I kind of just put it where I think I want it. It's kind of moving around here. Let me pull this up a little bit. There we go. Pull this down a little bit. Okay. You can adjust it after you get it tied, but I just kind of want to try to get it about where I want it. So then I'm just going to tie a little knot here. Now before I pull it tight, I'm going to get all my little strands in place here. Make sure everything's pretty much where I want it. I've got this part, and then I've got this. So yeah, I think we are good. I don't want to pull it down too much because the point is to have a little topper on there. Okay, let's go ahead and tie that tight. Let's see, where's my other end here? It got mixed up in the tassel, and that is the point of having something that kind of blends in or something that will add to the tassel. So I'm going to pull that pretty tight, and then tie a little. You can either tie another knot here at this point and it will hang down longer, or tie a little bow. I've been doing a little bow lately, so let's see if this is long enough to tie a little bow. I think that looks really cute. And there we go, little bow. And then you can trim the bottom of your tassel and make it all, you know, even, or you can leave it kind of sporadic like that. And then if I'm going to be popping these little tassels that I'm making in my shop. So if you get one and you want to trim the bottom, that's, you know, that's up to you. I kind of like it. See how it's like that? I kind of like it like that. If there's one hanging way down, I'll trim it, but they're pretty much all the same length. Let's see if they are. Pretty much all the same length. This one right here I might trim a little bit. Okay, right here. And this right here, I'm going to just make a little angle cut here so that these two pieces are about the same. Let's see, let's aim it down this way for this side. Let me get a hold of it here. There we go. And then this one, let's see, which way does she go? Like this. I need to turn it around so I can get the right angle going here. Okay, there we go. So we have a little bow, and we have this. So let me make sure everything is where I want it. Have our jute twine still here at the top. Okay, all right. You can see what she looks like so far. Now we're going to add some beads. So you know, I showed you, if you haven't seen it yet, I have my Thrifty Thursdays kind of a couple ahead of time, so I don't know where I'm at with my Thrifty Thursdays. But they're coming. If they haven't seen it, they're coming. But I have a video where I show you I got these beads from Dollar Tree. Either you've seen it or it's coming. But let's open these. I haven't used any of these yet. These are the pastel kind of wood beads that they have at Dollar Tree for Easter, in the Easter section. Try to see if I want to cut this, or can I get that staple out. I'd rather have the bag a little bit longer if possible. It doesn't have a flap on the bottom, but it has a flap right here, I think. Let me see. Yeah, it does have a flap right here, so it's a little longer, then it will be less likely that the beads will fall out all over the place, so I'm trying to keep that little flap on there. So I'll probably leave them in this bag for a little while, see if I can use them up. Okay, so I've got, in here, I've got pink, blue, white, green, and yellow. And then I got a couple extra strands from Dollar Tree. I've got these green and white ones with a couple different colors, shades of green for St. Patrick's Day. And then they had these just in a regular aisle of Crafty stuff in one of my Dollar Trees with these colors. And on here the different color is red and a lighter yellow than in the other packs. And this blue right here is different. So I pulled all of these out. Not that I need all of these. And I have some other fabrics here too for my, like I said, I would like to make a second tassel. So what I'm doing with the jute twine, let's pull out some colors here. It doesn't matter. I don't want all the same color, but all of these will coordinate. So I'm going to thread them onto this jute twine. Let's start with, since we've got a light color here, let's start with a green one that will stand out from the light colors that we have right at the top here, the light yellow and light blue. So we've got a green. Now let's do a blue, and we're just going to alternate some pretty colors here and see what happens, see how this turns out. There's a light blue. Let's do a white. Whoa! Hold on, I know I got my head in there probably. Trying to keep this from falling on the floor. A white one, and let's do one more. I don't think we could do, I don't want to overpower this. So let's do two more. So what other colors do we have in here? Pink we haven't done on this one, and yellow. I do have a couple pieces, at least a few pieces of yellow fabric, which is vintage sheets in this this tassel. So we'll have one of each of the colors from that little bag of wooden beads from Dollar Tree. Let's see, there's a little something blocking the hole there. Little piece of wood, sawdust or something from when they made the bead. That happens sometimes with the wood beads. In case you've never used them, just poke something in there and clean it out. Okay, I think that's plenty of beads for this little tassel. So now what I would do is just, let's tie a knot here. So this is pretty tight. I want it tight. So make sure your beads are not, there's no spaces in between them. So there we go, one knot. Let's tie one more. Okay, see what I said, this was going to be a very simple way to make a pretty tassel with a beaded top. So I've got my double knot there, and then all I'm going to do is tie another little knot up here, another double or triple knot up here, and I have my loop for hanging. So you can hang it from the loop, you can put a paper clip or a bulb pin on the top, you can make your loop smaller, whatever you want to do. You can leave it loose so you can tie it onto something. So just whatever you want to do there at the top, but I just wanted to show you such an easy way to make a pretty tassel. Use some of your beads that you've bought, use your scrap fabric, and let's fluff it up a little bit. And it's super pretty, right? A simple small tassel that you can hang. Let's put a couple of beads on the tassel. So all I've been doing to do that is, let's see, I like to pick a couple in the front here so the beads don't get buried inside and you don't see them. So I'm going to pick a light blue one here right on the outside. And since this is light blue, I'll pick a different color to go on here. So maybe, you know, something that stands out like the green or the yellow or even the pink. Let's pick a pink one to put on here. And I just been kind of, you know, doing a little roll up of the fabric there on the end, putting it through. If it doesn't go all the way through, take your pokey tool, which I will get right here, hopefully. It's, let me see. I know I was just using it. I've got this one. I've got the other one here somewhere. I might have to pause and find it. These are my little tools that I keep handy on my table here. Okay, let's use this one. This is the Dollar Tree one. Yeah, just poke it through there. So it starts coming out the other end. There it is. Okay. Now I can pull it through. And since this hole is not, you know, it's like the perfect size to go over like something like this. It just holds itself right on there, like I said before, my other tassel videos that I've been doing lately. So there's that one. Let's see how it stands out. And then let's put another one. Let's put a yellow one or a green one. Let's put a green one over here on this piece. So this way I can use up several of my beads. And get it going again. Just keep poking it in until it goes through to the other side. Starts coming out there. There it comes. Okay. And then I like to put the beads at different levels, you know what I mean? So they're not all lined up right here. Like this one I'll put down here a little bit. And then I'll do one more over here. Say, what's sticking out? Maybe this one. Well, that's kind of on the side. Let's see how it's landing here. Maybe this one right here. We got a pink one, we got a green one. Let's put a yellow one on this one. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to put some beads on the other side, and then I'll come back and show you how it looks. Okay guys, I finished it. I put the beads on both sides, and I actually tied a new bow here because I kind of wasn't happy with the size of the other bow, and so I think the loops are a little bigger on this one. So you can see my bow there, the topper, and the beads here on this side. She's a fluffy little thing. And there are beads over here too. I just kind of rearranged it when I retied the bow. But there's about, I think I put 3 on each side, so there's probably 6 beads down here. So there she is, all colorful and spring-like. And I noticed that you can pull the beads up over this loop if you're not careful. So I just kind of push them down there and hold it like this, and the beads are on there. You know what I mean? So it's good to go. Anything else? The only thing I can see is if you wanted to shorten it. You could put less beads on here, and you could make the loops shorter. So we might do that with the next one, but I think this is really cute. All right, so I'm going to pause and get the strips ready for the next one, and I'll be right back. Okay, for this one I have, as you can see here, pink and green strips. I think this will look beautiful with the beads. So for this one I am going to, let's see, I think I'm going to show you another easy way to put this together. So let's do it like this. I'm going to tear a strip from the pink or the green. Let me tear a strip from the green because I have less of that and I want to use it up. This is all I have left. So I have like 1 or 2 strips left here besides some little scraps, and that will be it for this. So let's use this one up. Okay, so let's see. After I tear it, then I check for strings. I think I see a string here. Pull my strings off. These are a little bit longer than the last. These strips here are longer than the last tassel. Okay, so this piece I'm going to use for my tie up. Okay, just like we use the jute twine, but we're using a piece of fabric. So I'm going to scoot this under the middle. Let me measure this for you to tell you how long these strips are. They are about 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 or so inches long. Let's see, I've got a couple that are really long here that I need to cut. I just saw that. Let me cut those real quick. I didn't realize those were so long. This one's really long here. And you can cut them after too, but I want to go ahead and cut them right now. And then this one right here is super long somehow. Ended up making that too long. Okay. And let's get our new strip here. I just acquired a bunch of string from this table thread here. Okay, so about the middle, about right here. Gather it up, stick this under. So yeah, you can have more or less strands too. I don't really count. I just do what I want to do at the time, kind of eyeball it. I have made some with less, some tiny, some, you know, all sizes. So, all right. Now we're going to tie our knot here. This is going to be our little top loop instead of the twine or the notebook ring like I use sometimes. Okay, I want to get these straight before I tie this tight. So I'm going to just pull these down, make sure they're all going in the right direction. You know, kind of facing frontwards. I just pulled that one over too much, so kind of look at the length too, see if anything needs to be pulled over to the right or the left. This one, see, these two look like they're kind of twirling around here, so we'll untwirl those. Or maybe we'll twirl them more to get them to lay front side out. Okay, now does it look good? Yes. So let's tie our knot. Oops, don't let go of it, Sheree. I already had a knot. So let's pull our knot tighter. And then let's do another knot so we can secure that. Let's see, I want my right side up here on my knot, even my knot. So turn it around, make sure everything's right side up, and then go ahead and make a little loop. I'll make a smaller loop. We're not going to put any beads on the top of this one, so just a little. You could tie a bow at this at this, you know, point, or just make a little knotted loop. So here's a small loop so that our tassel won't be too long right here, and you can put a little paper clip, a jump ring, a notebook ring, just use this. And why I'm saying paper clip, you could just put a paper clip and paper clip on your journal, or a lobster claw clasp, or if you have like a door knocker ring on your journal, you could just hang it from that loop. Or, you know, if you're not using this for a journal, maybe you're using it in your Easter decor or on an Easter basket or for a gift, you can just leave it like this. Let's see, I'm trying to get this so it's possibly right side out all around here. I'm going to see if I can tie a bow on the top here. So this is our top piece. All right, let's see if I made it. Okay, so we've got a little bow and a loop at the top here. Here's my loop under here, under the bow, right there. And here's my bow at the top. Here's how it is now. So you can leave it like this if you want, or you can make your little kind of topper here. I'm going to make a topper. Let's see, we've got, doesn't the green and pink look pretty together? Let's do, since we have green here, I want it to kind of be cohesive. Do I have enough to get another strip off of here? Let's see. I might have to pause if I can't tear it, but we'll see. Like, I might have to pause and cut it, but let's see if it'll tear off of here. Still with this, let's see, that's what I was afraid of. Let's try the other end. Whoops. I got my beads right here. Yeah, this is going to be a little tough. Let me get my pink and shears and cut this, and I'll be right back. Let me see if I can salvage a strip off of here. Just 1 second. Okay, so I cut that piece and I tied it right here. I tied a double knot so that it would just, I didn't want another bow down here since I have a bow up here with my loop. I didn't want another bow down here, so I just tied a double knot and let the strands hang down there right here. So they just become part of the tassel at that point. So now I can put some beads on here. You saw me how I put on the beads, so I'm not gonna do that on video again. I'm gonna go ahead and do it off video, and I'll come back and show you how it looks, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, this one is finished. I want to show you the finished product here. I just put the beads on, as I said. I think I put about 8 beads on. So here's our little loop on the top, which is our hanger. Here's our little topper. here are the beads, our little fluffy tassel. So cute, right? So here's this side. Let me lay it down, maybe that's better. There we go, and let me turn it over. If you do tear your fabric, you will have some strings once in a while, so just cut them off or pull them off. But there we go. Isn't that adorable? Let me see. One thing I noticed, see how this one is, okay, see how they're pretty much all front facing on this side. If you have one that is not front facing, let's see, where does this one go? See if I care about which way it goes. So you can take your bead, if you put a bead on it, take it, pull it up to somewhere up near the top, and then twist your fabric inside the bead so that your fabric is now laying face out. See that? Let's see if there's another one here. I thought I saw this one here, this pink one. The bead is already up near the top. Twist my fabric inside the bead, and there we go. Now my fabric is facing out. I don't want these two beads, all these beads right next to each other though, so I'm going to pull this one a little bit down. There we go. And let's see. Twist my fabric a little bit more since I moved the bead. There we go. So you can kind of manipulate the fabric a little bit like that too. An option of when you put beads on there. So pretty cool, right? Yeah, so these little tassels will be in my shop. I hope you enjoyed using fabrics today. Don't forget you can join in the collab any day you want. I guess Marie and I will try to post our videos, at least one on the first Friday of the month. And then whenever we want to pop on and do a little stash to treasure, we will. And I'm sure I will have moments when I have a little urge to use something in my stash, and I'll pop on and show you what I'm doing. So let's see, that's one tassel that we did today, and our other tassel with the beads on the top is right here. See how much smaller it is? But sometimes you want a smaller one, but it's not really smaller because it has all these beads on top. Actually, it ended up being about the same size, didn't it? Except for the fabric pieces are smaller. So yeah, you can make whatever size you want. Thanks for watching today, and I'll see you all in my next video. Thanks guys, I'll see you later.